Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sirasak Teparkum, CEO of Thailand Center of Excellence for Life Sciences. First of all, I would like to thank for the organizer for the CTHI China Online Webinar for giving me the opportunity to sharing with you the information about the Thailand pharmaceutical industry. Before we start, I would like to give you the perspective, the overview of the Thailand policy how do we look about the new innovation, especially for the medical hub, medical area. We aim that Thailand will lift all the country, elevate from the economy to the Thailand 4.0 towards the Thailand medical hub. The mechanism and the key area that we would like to focus, it's all BCG. It stands for the bioeconomy, circular economy, and green economy. Under the concept of the sufficient economy philosophy of the King Bhumibol, the previous, the great of the King Rama IX. And also the goals is for the sustainable development goal and to bring Thailand to become the medical hub in the ASEAN. And of course, we will focus on the health and medical care. These are the key trends for Thai healthcare industry. So if you're looking at the supportive demographic and economic trends, you know that aging society become one of the major challenge in Thailand and all the ASEAN as well. So this is a very challenging thing that will happen in our country. And also Thailand as the top tourist destination to capable of the medical personnel, convenient infrastructure and facility, and value of money attract the medical tourism. This is the fact that we would like to focus on the medical tourism and the medical care. For the healthy trend, we will increase of the health conscious lifestyle driven demand on preventive care and shifting from the traditionally treatment-based approach to preventive care, which focus on the individual genetics, wellness, and early detection, and also with the vaccination as well. For the health insurance, you know, the insurance company increased cooperation with the local hospitals to increase Thailand's private health insurance penetration. But the Thai government approved tax break on premiums paid for health insurance, supporting on increase in healthcare demand. And also from the health tech, mobile health apps would increase the health conscious and preventive care, and we would support existing healthcare service rather than replacement, mostly in searching for doctor and personal health information. From the overall, the regulation of Thai FDA is under the Ministry of Public Health, will control of the Thai FDA, which is responsible for the regulatory body administering of drugs in the country, and also the control. The Drug Control Division of the Thai FDA is responsible for licensing, registration, inspection, surveillance, and adverse event monitoring for every pharmaceutical company and pharmaceutical products. So the Thai drug market is dominated by the foreign pharma companies. By 2022, the pharmaceutical market in Thailand is predicted to double thanks to the trade negotiation, regional harmonization, and positive economic trends. So, however, these are the several versions of the Drug Act currently in effect, and the Thai government is working on the revised version with the updated regulations as well, and is under the current law. Pharmaceuticals are categorized as either traditional or modern medicines with the different application and oversight. So on the demand-driven factor, Thailand medical sectors that I already mentioned to you, aging society is one of them. And then Thailand proportion of citizen age over 60 is one of the highest in ASEAN, lead to the higher demand for healthcare. Also the high growth in health goods and medical services. The growth of consumer spending on health goods and medical services in Thailand is greater than the growth of domestic economy and spending on most other categories. Also investment in new hospital, existing hospital operator plans to invest in new hospitals and medical equipment that will support continuous growth in demand for medical device in Thailand. And also we increase in illness, especially for heart disease, stroke, cancer. And now on, everyone suffers from COVID-19 as well, and emerging disease and infectious disease. However, the government policy trying to promote investment in the medical device sectors and intend to establish Thailand as a medical hub and the base for export and medical devices. We increase in foreign patients. Well known that Thailand has become one of the medical tourist spot in ASEAN and also in the world. We are ranking top 5 and some year in top 10 as well. So this is one of the key area that we would like to focus on. When you look at the Thailand medical landscape at a glance, so far we have around more than 27,000 healthcare providers and more than 380 private hospitals. We have more than 68 JCI accredited hospitals, which is a really good number, very high number. The number of the medical tourists last year, well, I think more than 5 million already. And the medical device market, we are around 22 billion euro in 2019. We expected growth, medical device in the past 10 years, it's grown very consistently around 8 to 10% every year. And also we have more than 600 Thai-based company on the local side for Thailand. And also we have about 520 million spending on the medical tourism. We are number 5, the biggest medical tourism market in the world. When you look at the pharmaceutical market in Thailand, you look at export. Most of the exporting everywhere in the world, but 18% go to Myanmar, 15% go to Vietnam, Cambodia, and so on. Most of them are in ASEAN, and also some of them go to Japan. That's for the export market. It's not that big when compared to import market, but domestic market is majority is on the public hospital. More than 60%, 20% is private hospital, and the 20% is over-the-counter pharmacy. For the import import market, 50% is come from USA. More than 50% is come from others, 16% from USA, 15% from Germany, and 8% from France, and from India and Japan as well. But it means that, but you look at the number of the import market, it's much larger than export. So we need to improve a lot of pharmaceutical market in Thailand to catch up the import number. When you look at the leading domestic pharmaceutical company, most of the distributors are the major pharmaceutical company like Pfizer and Novartis. You look at the revenue, it's more than 8 billion baht. And but manufacturer Better Pharma is a Thai pharmaceutical company. Mega Life Science, Balin Pharma is also Thai 51%, and Takeda, number 1 Japanese pharmaceutical company, also invest in Thailand, and so on. But here we have most of the manufacturer in Thai, but local Thai, and also with the international company as well. When you look at the value of drug and biologic drugs in Thailand, the blue column, it represents from the market value of biologics. Have you seen it in the past 10 years? The biologic market is growing quite consistently. On the other hand, the value of the chemical drug is pretty much consistent and has a trend to get lower. And we look at the local manufacturer and the import company, the chemical and bio. The chemical local manufacturer, it's around 31%, and also chemical import around 45%. But you look at the 24%, it's become majority from the biopharma local manufacturer, and 1% from just only bio manufacturer import. This is a slide that shows about the market size of life science industry in Thailand in the past 10 years. So it grown consistently, and we grow around 8 to 10% each year, starting from 2012, and up until now. This is a statistic before the COVID hit Thailand, and in 2012, the market size of the life science industry in Thailand is around $25 billion US. But right now, I think the number more than 48 billion US dollars already. The life science industry in Thailand include the pharmaceutical industry, healthcare services, which include the hospital, and also with the spa and wellness, and also the medical device industry as well. So the trend of life science industry in Thailand is growing very fast. And also we look at the forecast of the pharmaceutical sales in billion US dollars and percent of GDP. It's around 1% of GDP, and the cost of pharmaceutical sales is around 6.8, almost 7 billion US dollars right now. And you look at investment incentive of pharmaceutical industry. This is the incentive given from BOI, Board of Investment. We provide the incentive in the activities such as the manufacture of the active pharmaceutical ingredient of the 8 years tax exemption, and including of the manufacture of medicine, manufacture of targeted medicine, and manufacture of conventional and traditional target medicine as well. And also this is a measure to accelerate investment in the medical industry to cope with the COVID-19 situation. This is the very recent the measure that cope with the COVID-19 situation, which provide incentive for such activities. For example, manufacturing of non-woven fabric as the raw materials to produce a surgical mask or medical devices, manufacturing of medical device or parts, manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredient, and manufacturing of medicine, specifically those under the targeted drug list, and also the application of biological technology, specifically for research and development manufacturing of medical supplies and the medical diagnostic kits. These are the incentive, the basic on corporate income tax and exempt, an additional 50% of the tax deduction for a period of 3 years. And also we provide a smart visa for the highly skilled experts, senior executive investor, startup entrepreneur, and also with the spouse and children as well, of the maximum 4 years visa, exempt smart S, and the privilege permission to work with no work permit required, no re-entry required, and fast track service at international airport. This is the smart visa. So now we get back to TCELS, who we are. TCELS is a public organization under the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Innovation. We just newly reformed ministry. Previously, we are under the Ministry of Science and Technology, but now we are transform and reform, combine, integrate the Ministry of Science and Technology with the Higher Education Council. So now we have more than 200,000 of staff, with a lot of including of all the researcher in the university. So all the university and the previous of the Ministry of Science and Technology getting combined together. So we are a very, very big organization. But TCELS is just a very specific public organization, specifically for supporting and incubation for research and innovation to health and wellness industry, focused on ecosystem infrastructure and human ability development for health and wellness industry, compliant to international standards. And also we support research to real life by accelerating mechanism to support life science business in Thailand, which include biopharmaceutical value chain in Thailand. Also, when you look at the biopharmaceutical in Thailand, you have to understand the all value chain of the biopharma industry, from the drug discovery, from the testing of preclinic, from the GMP compliant process development and clinical study, and the large scale manufacturing, formulation, packaging, and also with the market distribution. All this very key, the value chain, which in different part, we have a different strength, and the partners who work from the research development, starting most of them on the leading research institute in Thailand and the leading research university, like Chulalongkorn Mahidol University, and also with the leading regional university in Thailand, and also with all kind of characterization lab, and working with the intellectual property center of the IP management as well. When you look at the innovation and manufacturing, which also including the characterization lab, has a lot of partners from the pilot plant, upstream process and downstream process, including, and also these are the partners like NBF and Kinggen, which become the CDMO for the production. For the vaccine, we are specifically focused for, especially for the COVID-19 right now, both TPO and Bionet Asia, and also you might heard Siam Bioscience, which is a major manufacturing who produce the AstraZeneca right now. And also for the market, we trying to drive all this research for the commercialization. So all these are very key partners for TCELS as well. We look at the human resource development of pharmaceutical industry. We realize that human resource are the most important things to drive all the industry in Thailand to be more sustainable. So we increase a lot of number of the young staff, young scientists, and also with the student to get the scholarship to study in the pharmaceutical. And also this is infrastructure support for pharmaceutical, like a national biopharmaceutical facility, which is locating at the King Mongkut University. Is a pilot plant, but right now it reformed with the private sectors to set up the new identity to new company, so-called the Kinggen Biotech. And also it's locating at the KMUTT, is a university. And also we have the biopharmaceutical characterization lab as well. For the preclinic, for the animal study, we drive a lot of effort to get the preclinical study and the animal lab to comply with the OECD GLP compliance program, OECD GLP guideline. And also we set up a lot of the clinical research institute like TCTR, and also work very closely with the Sirasak Hospital to set up the NCRC. And also we have the very special program, so-called the medical bliss, which is combining and integrating all of those research program and trying to implement in the local area to reduce the inequality and trying to improve the quality of life of Thai local people. For example, this is a YMID. The letter that you see, it stands for Yoti Medical Innovation District, which is a special program, special area that very rich in the resource of the medical staff. We're trying to integrate and combine and trying to work together among all this very rich on the medical resource people to drive and to get a better service for the public people in this area. For the international world network, we also set up a lot of networking around in the country and international. We have worked very closely with the Thai FDA and university and a lot of the public sectors as well, and trying to drive the biopharma to become more sustainable and become the main industry in Thailand. This is another major national project, so-called Eastern Economic Corridor, which set up around 100 kilometers away from Bangkok, and it's very close to Suvarnabhumi Airport. You see the infrastructure of EEC development. It's we think about the development of the area by thinking about the transportation. Both the new airport has already been newly established, newly airport, newly the deep sea port and a high-speed train, double-track rail train, and so on, motorway, and also we set up the EECI, the Eastern Economic Corridor of Innovation, which is in the city of Rayong, very close by, but specifically for the innovation development of this area. The EECI, so-called EECI, is focused on the biopolice, which focus on the innovative agriculture, chemical and bioprocess technology and functional ingredient. Agripolis, which is focused on automation, robotics, for the sensing innovation, computing innovation, manufacturing, and also with the space Innopolis, with the high altitude pseudo satellite unmanned aerial vehicle, global navigation satellite system, and the NQI aerospace, and so on. And here's the whole industry's transformation, healthcare industry linkage. You know, the Thailand in the past 10 years, the growth of Thai life science industry has growing around 8 to 10%, because most of the supplier in Thailand, from the agriculture-based, chemical-based, and plastic and packaging and metal and robotics and transportation of automobiles, they're trying to transform into the new industry, which when you combine with the life science or all kind of the pharmaceuticals, medical device, and healthcare services, you get a new industry, so-called the healthcare industry, and also supporting from the government and also with the private sectors provide funding and the lab testing and logistic and transportation. So we hope that this is to get more sustainable development for the country to be a healthcare development in the near future. So far, TCELS has been recognized as the public organization who focus on the biopharma industry and also trying to drive and support the whole ecosystem on the, for example, the preclinical and clinical research. Also, we know that precision medicine is coming, it's a trend for the future. So far, Thailand has already launched the national initiative, so-called the Genomics Thailand, which aim to screen 50,000 of the genome of Thai people in the next 5 years. So this is going to be a very strong fundamental for the precision medicine development. And also, I already mentioned to you about the medical police program right now, not just only for Bangkok, YMID, but we already have the medical police in northern, northeastern, southern Thailand, in some major city like Chiang Mai, Khon Kaen, and Songkhla in down south. Medical device is a very key area that we would like to focus on and trying to utilize the natural products. You know, Thailand is very rich in natural resources. So we're trying to utilize natural products to become the health products like a dietary supplement and cosmetics. Okay, this is another life science value chain that I already mentioned to you, so I won't go to the details, but we have recognized our strength and our gap that we would like to do on the whole value chain. But along value chain, we're trying to get more value added along the way. For example, for the pharmaceutical biopharma industry, ATMP, cell and gene therapy, also with the cosmetics, and for the medical device, and also medical device for the embedded implant device. Here is the example for our innovation during the COVID-19. Just only less than 6 months, we provide a lot of innovation from the medical supplies to diagnostic kits, and also with the treatment and the drug, the potential drug as well. So far, we have launched a program on the AI chest X-ray, and we're trying to use AI for early diagnostic of the COVID-19 patient. And also we have early discover of the finger roots, which is a very Thai traditional herbs, which we eat on Thai food most of every day. And we found that finger roots has a very strong active compounds that can inhibit the COVID-19. And right now it's become one of the major area that we would like to pursue to further develop into the food supplement and also with the drug. And it's coming very soon. In the past year, we found that we have created a lot of economic impact, more than almost around 5 billion baht in just only 6 months. So this is the last slide about the international collaboration of TCELS. TCELS has been established 18 years ago in Life Science Innovation Forum, or LSIF, in the APEC. So we are very familiar with the international network. So we really recognize and realize the importance of the international network. So we are trying to reach out and work with everyone in every continent, like United States, Scotland, Spain, France, Germany, Netherlands, Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, European Union, and definitely from China So if you are interested to join and to work with the biopharma industry, please contact TCELS. Thank you very much.